Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your June. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are well. This is a general reading for any sun, moon, or rising Sagittarius sign. And we can use the cards to get a sense of the energies and messages for the month so that you can use this information to help guide you. So let's see what the cards would like us to know for you, Sagittarius, in June. Okay, in your present moment of where you are right now, we have the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is about looking at things with fresh eyes, with a different perspective, and getting a sense of maybe approaching a problem in a new way. Hangman could also suggest that you are waiting for something, that you're in a state of suspension, that you're holding on and hoping for something to happen. You're okay with that. This card can also mean that while you're waiting, you might be sacrificing something. So in your present moment right now, you are comfortable with your decision to hang in there and basically kind of be on pause and to feel that whatever it is that you're holding on for will be worth it. And crossing you is the Hermit. And so the Hermit is a message from the universe for you to go within yourself, to take the time to do some reflection, to do some thinking about your life and your, what's making you tick, the patterns within your life. And, are you doing everything that you had hoped to do? But really, this is taking a time out from maybe socializing too much and taking the time to meditate, to quietly reflect, to take nature walks, and to think about things within your life. So, here you've been hanging on, kind of in suspension here, thinking about new perspectives. And if you allow the Hermit, if you take the time to work on your inner self, your own personal wisdom, then that's going to help you develop and have a going forward plan with this Hanged Man. Okay. In your foundation, you have a beautiful card. You have the Empress. And the Empress, you can see how she's the divine and feminine symbol here, but this is really a card of abundance, of good health, and of creativity, because the Empress is like our Mother Earth. So where you're feeling connected to nature, and you're feeling creative, that there are some ideas that you may have that you may want to be putting out there to the universe, because with the Empress, it can suggest, fertility and pregnancy. Well, you can be pregnant with ideas and give birth to ideas. And so this is a beautiful card, and this Empress is, she's there to encourage you to nurture others, to be compassionate, to be supremely loving, but also not to neglect your creative side. So within your foundation, there's a creative piece of you that wants to come out. And in your, what's behind you, as I would say, is the Nine of Cups. And so you've been hoping for something, and you've been hoping for a happy outcome. There's a wish that you are thinking about. The Nine of Cups suggests contentment, happiness, material comfort. You have things that you need, and here you're toasting your good life. And so in your recent past, you are hoping for something. And you have this, again, you have a thinking about a new perspective. You're thinking about introspection, solitude, to be able to sort things out. Deep bubbling within you is the Empress, which is wanting you to be creative and wanting you to give birth to new ideas, maybe start a family too. That could certainly be a possibility. And interesting, in your crowning energy, you have the Emperor in reverse. And the Emperor in its upright position is about authority and structure and a father figure, if you will. And so, the Emperor, this is an Aries, possibly. This is, an Aries card that's coming into you, but this is, the Emperor is someone who is, has structure and authority within your circle. Now, in reverse, perhaps it's something that's weighing on you is this having a lot of structure and having, in its reverse, in its upright position, it's a fair authority. The Emperor is pretty fair. In its reverse position, however, maybe there's something that it's a little heavy-handedness with that. So, interesting that in the foundation we have the Empress, Mother Earth, loving, nurturing, creativity, fertility, and in the crowning we have the Emperor in reverse. Kind of can be heavy-handed, maybe too bossy, perhaps. And in your near future, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. And so the Ace of Swords in its upright position is about having clarity, and again, it's a gift. Aces are gifts or blessings from the universe, and so it's like, take this new approach. This could be a new way of thinking, which kind of aligns with the Hanged Man in your present position. But this is, take this approach and take clarity of mind, strong communication, intellectual enterprise. In reverse, however, there's a sense that you're not maybe thinking clearly, that you are blocked, and something is blocking your ability to face a situation rationally or objectively. Interesting. So let's put that here. Where you are right now is Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. So this Knight of Cups in its upright position, he's charming. It's a potential of love, romantic, dreamy, might be a little bit of a flake, might be a little immature. In its up in its reverse position, this could be something a little too emotional, a little too unpredictable for you, and unable to come through. May have a lot of fanciful ideas about relationships and love and all of that, but really is not consistent. And so this water sign, you're feeling that it's kind of like, maybe, I get that, maybe playing a game with your emotions. And that's kind of how you're feeling, that there's someone who is playing around with your emotions. So then in your, what people think of you in your environment, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is a positive card because this Queen is, first of all, it's Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, and she is a master of like multitasking and of keeping the business going and keeping the family going, and is strong with finances. So it's, you have everything in place. You have your budget in place. You have everything that you need to be able to organize your finances and your resources. I like to think of the Queen of Pentacles as someone who would go to a flea market and would find something and could turn it around into a beautiful piece of furniture perhaps, and then could sell it at a profit. She's got her eye on things, on how to manage finances. She's also very loving and stable. So this pragmatic energy can help you kind of deal with this dreamy Knight of Cups person or energy that is inconsistent and, maybe just in there for a fun time, but it's not quite in the way that you want it, what you're hoping for. Okay, in your hopes and fears, you have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And the Four of Pentacles in its upright position is about holding on and keeping the status quo and kind of being fiscally conservative. So you're thinking about your money. You're not willing to take a risk to lose your money. In reverse, however, I think that you feel a little more freedom with your finances, that you don't have to hold on so tightly. If this is in terms of a relationship, you're letting things go. You know, you're not holding on in the, you could just see in this illustration, he's hanging on tightly to his pentacles and kind of standing and not moving forward. Well, you know, in reverse, you're starting to have some freedom with resources, with money, with perhaps your emotions, of letting your emotions out there. Okay, and in your outcome, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles in its upright position is about someone who really loves their work and works really diligently and is extremely talented. So they're an artisan, they're a craftsman, and they're not distracted. They get the job done. And so in reverse, you might be feeling a little bit of a tugging sensation that you don't want to do what you've been doing. And it's become not that exciting to you, or not that fun. And it also could simply suggest that you are distracted at work. When it comes to finances, when it comes to your career, that you are distracted and maybe not giving it your all. So that is something to think about. Okay, so let me take a look here. And, you know, in terms of, we've got all elements represented. Nine of Cups, you know, you were hoping for a dream. You were hoping for something to come through for you. Okay, and we've got some major arcana right at the center of this reading, which is the Hanged Man. New perspective, new way of approaching things, of speaking your opinion, and, you know, taking that risk. People may not agree with your opinion. Crossed by the Hermit, which is a need for you to go within, to do some deep thinking and thinking about your life and what you want to accomplish and what you're hoping for. Maybe you're hoping for a relationship, but this is a time for you to kind of detach and to be introspective. The Hermit is about being introspective. And, you know, the Hangman, you've been suspending, you've been hanging around, maybe waiting for something. And the Hermit is kind of saying maybe you need to take a shift here and think about what you've been waiting for. In your foundation, you have fabulous Empress, creative, loving energy, connect with nature, and take time to plant the creative seeds and the energies that you want to do. So if you like to sketch at the lake, go sketch. If you like to make crafts or make magazines or paint, whatever it may be, start doing that, and you know, allow your creative energies to come forth. Nine of Cups, you've been hoping for something. Emperor in reverse, authority figure. The Emperor is an Aries, could be someone who is kind of heavy-handed and maybe bossy, you know, because there's a lot of it's a father figure, and maybe it's just too much at this point of what you're dealing with. It's like, you know, you kind of need to take a little break from that and to go within your head. And, you know, there's a delay and there's a blockage perhaps of thinking clearly, of communicating clearly. This swords means clear communication, rational, objective thinking, and maybe in your near future that there's something that you're not going to be approaching on an objective level. You may be looking at it with your emotions, but this Ace of Swords in reverse is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Where you are right now, Knight of Cups. Our dreamy, romantic, poetic energy of this card, of this person who could be another water sign, is kind of not consistent for you. And it's too much emotions, perhaps. It's too much of a lot of words, but nothing behind it. I always think of the Knight of Cups in reverse. It's like someone saying, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And then we never make plans. We never do that. You know, we talk about it, but we never get it done. So people thinking of you, your environment, you know, that you have got it together, business, family-wise, resources. You've got an eye on your money. You're watching what you have. You're pragmatic and pretty grounded. You are hopes and fears. It's about maybe letting go. Instead of holding on so tightly, you're in a position now, and maybe this connects to this hangman new approach, is letting go. And so you're ready, instead of holding on for dear life to what you have, you're kind of going to be trusting and open to what's out there. And Eight of Pentacles, I believe this was in reverse. I'll have to go back and watch. Eight of Pentacles in reverse is you're finding your job and what you do a little tedious. You're working hard and you're not quite getting the satisfaction out of what you're doing. So, you know, maybe you need to think about the creativity of going back to square one and thinking about what is the creative energies that's really going to make me feel focused and love what I do. Okay, so let's take a look at a card for love, an oracle card for love, and we'll get a sense of what's going on for you in love. And this says ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. And that's such an important skill to have, is to take ownership of your actions and everything that you do. And yep, people are not perfect. And you might make mistakes and you might hurt someone's feelings, but if you are upfront and honest about it, then you're going to get the respect back. You know, when people say, you know, they're okay. They weren't cool in that situation, but they owned up to it and they understand why it hurt my feelings or whatever it may be. And, you know, you can move on from that. But to be in denial and to, you know, blame others instead of taking ownership, you know, that takes a toll over time. When you're able to have ownership and to take that ownership, you know, it's freeing in a way. It's really, I think, you know, it is letting go. It is letting your just letting potential guilt and all of that just to let it go. And then finally, to close the reading, let me pull an overall theme or something to work on. Lord Ganesh, infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. That's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful thought. It's a beautiful reflection. And spiritual connections are coming to you. Well, starting with spirituality for yourself from within, and understanding what makes you think and what makes you tick is a big step in the right direction. So, you know, I love it. Infinite abundance. When you can clear the obstacles, when you can start to let go, and when you can take ownership, let me put that here, you know, the world opens up to you and good things will happen. Put that here. So that's your reading. I hope you found something helpful here. If you did, please like, share, or comment. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It's a great way to stay connected and to show support. And I appreciate your time that you took to watch this. And I'll see you again. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.